Students, we have been talking about material misstatement. You see, the word material, risk of material misstatement. And similarly, when we go through the wording of audit report, basically, when we go through the wording of even in the audit report, what is said? What is the wording? Auditor, what does auditor say? Auditor says that, in my opinion, in our opinion, financial statements give true and fair view of company affairs in all material respects. You see, again, word material is here. Material respects. Now, what is the material? The word material. This is very much important. The whole audit is based one of the key concepts of the materiality. There are other concepts as well, but it is one of the key concepts. That when I am giving report, I'm saying financial statements are materially the same what the company is. These are the financial statement. I have checked these. I am auditor. I have checked these financial statements, and these financial statements are materially the same which are the actual affairs of the company. They are representing the same material. Material means majority. Important matters means important matters discussed in the financial statements. They have been discussed the way they have been actually doing in the actual affairs of the company, practically happening. It is not something artificially cooked over here. It is not artificially presented over here. Okay, in material respects means there may be minor differences from the in the financial statements from the actual state of the business, but not major. In all material respects, it is giving the same picture, same idea. So the purpose is, so that's why we say auditor does not give 100% assurance that financial statements are 100% correct. No, he's saying materially correct. Materially, they have been given appropriately. Materially. So this is the concept of materiality. Now, materiality. When auditor says an item is financial statements are materially true and fair, they are giving a true and fair view of the company affairs. Now, so that's why when we start with the audit planning and we say that auditor need to identify, if you remember, identifying the risk of material misstatement. If you remember, that's why in the planning we are identifying the risk of material misstatement, not risk of all misstatements, not risk of minor misstatements. Material misstatement means we should plan the work in a way that all the major misstatements are identified. Now, this was the literal meaning of material, major, big misstatements. Now, let us talk about it in detail, in the technical way. Now, so what is materiality? First, remember, materiality is a relative concept. Relative. It is a relative concept, materiality. Importance of information in a particular context. Particular context. Now, in a particular context. Student, now just see here. You can add one more word, relative importance. You can add another word, relative importance at the start. Yes, relative importance. Now, what does it mean? Students, you see here, $5,000. A big amount for me. But it may not be big amount for another person. It may not be an important amount for another person. So when we say $5,000, whether it is a material amount or not, we say we can't say. Depends upon in which context you are talking about. If you're talking about Bill Gates, or if you're talking about Steve Jobs, so 5,000 is not even equal to peanuts of them. Okay, so but $5,000 for a layman, for me, for some of you people, that may be a big amount, possibility. So material, so it is material, it is relative importance. Because importance is attached with the context. Context. In a certain, yes. When we say materiality, we consider the background, what we are talking about, what you're talking about. Another example. Now come to the business. For example, an organization is Emirates Airline. Another organization is XYZ Limited, a small company in a small country. I will take supposed figures. For example, Emirates have total assets of $1 trillion. For example, 1 trillion, yes, dollar USD. For example. And XYZ has total assets of $200,000. Yes. Now, you see here, $10,000, two different contexts. When we think about this organization, okay, it is 5% of total assets of the company, a big amount. It is a big amount for it, material for it. But for it, it is not even 0.0001%. It's a very small amount, not material. Context change, materiality change. Amount is same, you see here. But for what, just like that, students, a person who is monthly earning, for example, a person who is monthly earning 500,000 rupees. So rupees 2,000-3,000 is not important for him. The other person who is earning total 10,000 rupees per month, for him, it is an important amount. So materiality. So another angle. So this is the one angle. That different organization, item may be material for what organization, and it may not be for the other organization. Now come to the other point. Another context. Students, an organization which was doing very well, total assets were and they were, for example, $500 million, and sales were quite healthy, very good. All of a sudden, and we said rupees 20,000, $20,000. They are not important for it, not material for it. Then came the era of COVID-19. Everything blocked. Everything blocked in the era of COVID-19. Problem arises. Sales dropped. Now, in pre-COVID-19, they could lose to afford to lose a customer. Okay, no issue at all. We have so many customers. One customer with $20,000, no issue at all, because we are having too much sales. But when there are around sales are dropped, going to be vanished, you know that. Survival, the problem of survival of the company is there now. Now, in this case, $20,000 sale, a customer, that will be important for it. Because company is the same, circumstances changed. Business circumstances changed. And the same thing which was unimportant previously, that has become material now. Which was immaterial before, now that is material. This is called materiality. So that's why materiality, and amount which was material yesterday, it might be, you know, the inverse of it may happen. The amount which was material 4 months back, but now it may not be material because business has grown too much. Possibility is there now. So students, so that's why. Up till now, is it clear to everyone? Tell me, is it clear? Materiality up till now? Got some idea? All right, now let us proceed further. So students, when we talk about material, so auditor comes to the company because auditor's job is this, to give this report. To first, and in order to give this report, he must have to establish this first. He has to establish this fact first, that whether financial statements are free from material misstatements or not. He has to establish this fact. So in order to establish this fact, he has to perform work, of course. Now, let us proceed further. Let us proceed further. So students, what does auditor do? Auditors come to the company, and at the planning stage of audit planning, auditor decides an amount at overall financial statement level. Decides an amount at overall financial statement level. Yes. How he decides? Now, listen carefully. Listen carefully. This is interesting. There are certain benchmarks available in your notes. Yes, these benchmarks, from exam point of view, they're correct. If an item is, for example, auditor says, okay, take 1% of total assets. It is material. For them, total assets are, for example, these total assets, 5 million. So 1% of it, how much it will be? That is 50,000. So 50,000 is material. Or, oh, okay, it is 5%, not minus 5%, please. 5% of net assets. 5% of net assets. Now, what is the net assets? Total assets minus total liabilities. Or 5% of profit after tax or before tax. Any one of these. Okay. 1% of revenue. Now, students, what does auditor do? If an item, for example, an item is recorded in the financial statement, that is $20,000. That is the provision. Now I have to decide whether this amount is material or not. What I will do, I will check whether it is divided by provision divided by 20,000 divided by total assets, whether it is 1% of total assets or not. Provision divided by profit, whether it is 5% of profit or not. Or provision divided by revenue, whether it is 1% of revenue or not. Now let us learn it with detail. Now just see here. For example, we calculate this amount and we say that it is, when we calculate, it is 0.3% of assets. Now it is 6% of profit. And it is 0.4% of sales or revenue. We calculated it with the different figures. 20,000 divided by different items. So students, you see here, you have to memorize these three benchmarks, only three benchmarks: asset, sales or revenue, or profit. From exam point of view, if an item is 5% of profit, 1% of sales, or 1% of total assets. If any one of these three benchmark is met, we say that that item is material to financial statements. If any one of these three. You see here, in this case, these two benchmarks are not met, sales and assets. Only profit benchmark is met. We say it is material to profit and loss, to the financial statements hence. We have to check it in this way. Now, question arises that multiple questions may arise over here. I will try to cover all in my discussion. Please focus. The point is that practically it doesn't happen in this way, that auditor just calculate with the benchmarks and decide about the materiality. Practically approach may be too much different. Auditor's judgment is also involved. Auditor may not follow these practically, may not follow all these, any of these benchmark. Or what auditor will do, auditor may calculate the average of 3-4 items. For example, auditor says, okay, students, if this point is clear to you, can I proceed further? This point, which I have written over here, is it clear that it is material or not? Is it clear? Then I'll proceed further. Okay, now come here. So actually at the planning stage of auditor, auditors come to the company and by considering multiple factors, by applying his judgment, auditor decides an amount at overall financial statement level. He may take 1% of total assets, 1% or 1% of revenues, or 5% of profits. He may take any one of these, or even he can calculate these three amounts, add all these three and divide by 3 on average and say, okay, this resultant is material. So I have just given you an idea, not necessarily it may happen. It is all about the judgment of auditor. What auditor thinks that in a particular circumstances of the company, in a particular economy, for a particular industry, what amount will be material for the overall financial statement of this company, for a specific company. In exam level, we use these three benchmarks. That's it. We do not discuss this again and again the way I am discussing right now, but for conceptual clarity, it should be known to everyone. The practically things how they move. Now, let us proceed further. So students, auditor decides an amount by any way, any out of these way at overall financials. For example, auditors for a company, auditor decides an amount 500,000. So this is materiality at financial statement level. This is also called overall materiality. At planning stage. At planning stage. This word I will not discuss, but you can note it down. I will discuss in a few minutes after. Excuse me. So when we talk about it, that auditor is deciding an amount at overall financial statement level. This is 500,000. We say that it is materiality at financial statement level. Now, next, let us proceed further. Next, what is the purpose of this amount? Why auditor decided this amount? The purpose. What is the purpose? The purpose is that auditor needs to plan and perform audit work to detect all material misstatements in financial statements. Now, when we say material misstatements, means that which are equal to 500,000. Which are equal to 500,000. So material misstatements, individual material misstatements, or when aggregated they become material. Now, I repeat this last point. That 500,000 is the planning materiality, which means that auditor thinks that all those misstatements, single misstatements in the financial statement, which are 500,000 or more, they are material and they must be deducted through the audit planning and work. Individual, but there might be some smaller misstatements which individually they may not be 500,000, they may be less than 500,000, maybe 200,000, 250,000. But when they are aggregated, the sum of that is calculated, that becomes 500,000. So all those smaller misstatements, the aggregate of whom becomes equal to or more than materiality level, they need to be deducted as well. You see, the challenge is high. Not individually material, but those as well which are aggregated and they become material, they should also be deducted. These are the two tasks. The task is the same. It has two limbed actually for their repercussions. So now, so students, so this is the purpose. In other words, I am going to write some another words for the clarity. No material misstatement in financial statement should remain undetected Now, when say no material misstatement, material means individual material or when aggregated. No individual material misstatement remain undetected, or no such misstatements which when they aggregated they become material. They should not remain undetected. They should not remain in financial. So this is the target. Auditor, this is the target of auditor, which auditor want to achieve. Now, is it clear, students? These statements are clear? Now, let us proceed. Let us proceed further. So students, when we talk about material misstatements and sorry, yes, so this is the target. This is the target. You have to keep that in your mind. When the word material is spoken, it should be in your mind. Individual material or when aggregated, all has to be deducted. This is the target. So just see here. Let us proceed with the story again. So auditor decided an amount of 500,000, which was materiality at financial statement level or overall materiality. So it means that if financial statements are misstated by this amount, it will be material misstatement. Now, just see here. What does auditor do? Auditor is now going, this was the overall level. Now auditor is going down to the financial statement items individually. For example, he say, okay, sales of the company. Okay, sales. Okay, sales. Sales, he says no materiality level is 200,000. Then expenses 120,000. Assets, for example, 370,000. Liabilities 420,000, and so on. Now, auditor have decided further levels. Less than overall materiality level. You see, all these are lower than overall level. Lower than overall materiality level. Now, what is the purpose of these levels? Just see here. All items which are sales, which are having value less than 200,000, sample based testing. Sample will be selected for testing. Audit testing means audit testing. For audit, yes. But those sales items which are above 200,000, all will be tested. All will be tested. Those expenses items which are below 120,000. Again, sampling will be done. Sorry. Sample will be selected. Sample-based testing. All those expenses which are below 120,000. So we are basically, for example, we collected all the expenses of the company for the year items. We say, okay, now bifurcate it into two parts. Those below 120,000 and those above 120,000. Below 120,000, okay, here they are. Out of these, select a sample. Okay, and those which are above 120,000, all will be tested. So above, all will be tested. Similarly, below, sampling done, all will be tested. Below, sampling will be done and all will be tested. Now, my question from you is that, students, out of these four items, sales, expenses, assets, and liabilities, in which case auditor is testing the most number of items? In which case auditor is feeling more risk out of these four? Think logically and give me the response. Auditor is testing four items in front of you, and in the four items, the auditor has decided the levels, further levels, below which he will be doing sampling and above all will be tested. Yes, exactly. I appreciate. Asya, well done. Give me yes. Well done. That in the expenses, he will be testing the most number items. He will be assessing that the risk of misstatement is high. So he reduced the threshold lowest so that maximum items may be tested, because above 120, all will be tested. So 120 above, a lot, as compared to 420. Above 420, maybe less items, but 120 above, a lot. So he is testing in detail over here. So this question is well answered by two of the students, that in the case of expenses, auditor is feeling that risk of material misstatement is the maximum. And hence auditor is testing maximum items over there. In the case of expenses. Is that clear to everyone? If there is confusion, feel free to ask, please. Tell me. Yes. Thank you. Feel like that there is a problem. Some people are doubtful about it. If there is, please feel free. I appreciate frankness. So, okay, I will proceed further. Just see here. So now, so we decided that I will prove it. Don't you worry. I will prove it, because I feel like that some of people are doubtful about it because they are on silent mode. Just see here. For example, let us talk about the expenses. For example, transactions are here. Amounts, items, 500,000, 520, 640, 480, 400, 320, 310, 290, 280, 150, and the list goes on here. 100, 90, 88, 75, 70, 55, 35. So this is the list of expenses in front of you. So I say, okay, two items. You have two approaches. Case one. Materiality level is 320. Now, which means above that, all will be tested and below sampling will be done. Sampling. And you have to select a sample of 4 items, not more than that. Below sample of 4 items. So 320 is here. Above 4 items, all will be tested. And below, out of these 4 items, so total testing will be 8 items will be tested in this case. So 8 items will be tested in the case 1. Now case 2, just see here. I say keep materiality level, yes, that is 120. Now again, the rule is the same. Above, all will be tested. Below, sample of 4 items. So just see here. 120, where it is? Here it is. Here is the 120. Below 120. Above, all will be tested. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 items below. 4 items from here. 9 plus 4 is equal to 13 items. So here 13 items being tested. So you see here testing is high where materiality level is low. And when auditor does more testing, where he feels the risk is high, where chances of misstatements are high, at that point, auditor performs a lot of testing and keeps the materiality level low. Now, is it clear to everyone that why expenses has the highest risk over here? Good. Good. Now, all right. Now, so you see here, expenses. The materiality level for expenses is lowest because so testing will be the highest. So we have learned one thing. Another thing over here, another point, that lower the materiality level, lower the materiality level, 120,000 is the lower. Higher will be the audit testing. Higher will be the audit testing. Means more items to be tested by auditor. Detailed work is being done. Now, come back to the note down the sentence and I'll go back to the previous page. Come here. Students, when I am switching between the pages, so if you are unable to note down something and you want to note that down, sometimes it happens, you may miss something. So do let me know, please. Don't hesitate at all, okay? Don't hesitate at all. Do tell me that you have not been able to note it down. Okay, come here. Come here. So we said, starting from the story again, once again. So auditor decided this materiality level at overall financial statement level. Okay. And then auditor decided further materiality levels lower than overall materiality levels. Why? To perform detailed testing. Where auditor felt there is a higher risk of material misstatement, auditor reduced the materiality level further over there. You see, so highest risk was here in this case. So this process of setting lower materiality levels for detailed testing, lower materiality level than overall materiality level, is called performance materiality. I will write the process to set further materiality levels, level or levels lower than, sorry, overall materiality level. You see, over materiality level, less than that. They are less than that. To reduce the chance of, to reduce the chances of undetected misstatements in financial statements to be material, is called performance materiality. But for purpose is the same. Why auditor has reduced the levels? Purpose is that no material misstatement should remain undetected. Yes, this is the purpose. So reduce that chances of undetected misstatement to be material. This process is called performance materiality. So if you have noted it down, I will elaborate this definition once again. If you have noted it down, now just see here. Materiality level is decided that this misstatement need to be deducted, this level of misstatement. So why reduce materiality levels for different items? The purpose is that further another, that one is that this is the borderline. This is borderline. This is red line. If you keep that target, you may cross it. You may miss it. So you are establishing another threshold before that. That no, if we will not keep this threshold while testing. Although target is this, but we will keep another threshold before this. So that further chances of undetected misstatements to be material, they are reduced. So this is the target. Yes, this is. So in order to achieve this, we have drawn another line before that. Is that clear, student, to everyone? Performance materiality is clear. Okay, all right. Now, so you see here, this is what has been discussed over here. Performance materiality means the auditor can set different materiality levels for different areas of financial statement according to the judgment of risk. Or risk means risk of material misstatement there. So judgmental. It is the amount or amount set by, yes, less than overall materiality level as 4. Now, so they say in exam, you can calculate it. So I have told you in exam what you have to do. Now, students, materiality. Remember, materiality is of 2 types. One is quantitative materiality, and the other is qualitative. So quantitative materiality means materiality by amount. So whatever we were discussing so far, that was quantitative materiality. Whatever we were discussing so far, that was quantitative. That amount involved is important. Qualitative materiality. That is basically nature of information is important. Nature of information, not amount. For example, a company breaches the environmental law. Company is penalized. Amount is small, for example, but the nature, that this nature of information, that this breach should be disclosed in the financial statements. If it is not disclosed, it is material misstatement due to nature. Yes. Now, excuse me. So materiality, sometimes nature of information is important, amount is not important. So that is called qualitative materiality. Now, another example. Company has, for example, done transaction with its directors, related party transactions, which we call. Company has sold car to one of its director. Amount is small, but the nature of information is important because it is transaction with the director, management. Nature is important. That need to be disclosed. If it is not disclosed, this is material misstatement due to qualitative materiality. Now, next. Next. Problem. Student, remember, I was talking to you planning materiality. You see here. I wrote it here. Yes. You see, at planning stage. So already deciding this amount at planning stage and then performance materiality accordingly. And this materiality is decided on the basis of initial information which auditor gets of the company. On the initial information, this is being decided. But when auditor starts working during the company audit, he may get further information, which actually initially he had not that idea about that. So auditor wants to improve or revise that materiality level then, based on new information. Yes, if auditor thinks that this information, if it were available to me at the start, I would have set materiality level differently, then auditor will revise materiality levels. So that's why materiality is decided initially, but it should be reviewed when the audit progresses, whether it is still relevant or not. It should be reviewed by auditor. Now, you see here, this is prescriptive rules will not helpful. Means you can, materiality is not 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. No. Because number of matters which are related to judgment. So that's why there is principle. You cannot say this matter is material, this is material. You cannot list down the rules. So that's why there is a guideline that whatever is material in a particular context, materiality is always in a particular context, because some items may fall outside the boundary of the rules, and that may be material. Now, so students, so I told you that materiality has to be revised and updated when the audit progresses. Now, so one definition of materiality, which you have studied in your previous studies, of course, that is a good definition. I have not discussed that, which you started, I think you studied in F3 first of all, then F7, I think, F8 once again. Now here, what is the definition of materiality? Misstatements and omissions are considered materially, individually or an aggregate, expected to influence of the decision of financial statement user. That will be material. If I have invested in Coca-Cola, billions of dollars company. Company suffers a loss of $100,000. I say no issue at all. 100,000 is not a big deal. I may not change my decision of investment over there. So it is immaterial for Coca-Cola when my decision is not affected. Economic decision. I say this is not a big deal for Coca-Cola. Another company which has total assets of 100 million. For that, my decision may be changed. If it suffers a loss of $100,000, I say it is 1% of assets, my decision will be changed. So materiality. I hope it is clear, students. Now, students, it is time for a short break. We'll take a short break of 8 minutes around.